Today, corporations are marketing to infants. If you read advertising magazines or trade journals, people talk about cradle-to-grave brand loyalty. If you don't get a child by 2 or by 6, you won't have them at all. Or if you get a child by 6, you'll have them for life. So all of a sudden, infants are now fair game. And it's been discovered that 6 months old, children as young as 6 months, actually respond to brands and recognize brands. And so it's like the Drool factor, the little logo right here, and the baby looks down and sees it. So, they're now being targeted by marketers. Marketing to children has just escalated in the past 10 years. It doubled from 1992 to 1997, the amount of money that corporations were spending on marketing to children. Well, during that time, childhood obesity has become a major public health problem in North America. The largest advertisers on television are foods high in fat and high in sugar and high in calories. Well, is there a connection? I think so. Corporations have found, because, babies can be imprinted with brands, that they can do things like create board books for babies based on food characters. So there's the Cheerios playbook or the M&M playbook that are published by reputable publishing companies and are given to babies. So babies are in their early years having, this experience of cuddling with, caretakers or parents and being read to, which is, really important experience of childhood. And they're associating those warm, cuddly, wonderful feelings with candy or with breakfast cereal. I mean, that's from the very beginning. There's evidence that the frontal cortex isn't developed fully developed, I think, until 16. So, children's brains are still forming even as adolescents. Adolescents may look like adults, but they're not adults. They don't think real clearly. They tend to be overwhelmed by, their hormones and their emotions, and they're very vulnerable. And so they're vulnerable to manipulation. I think it's wrong for corporations to exploit their vulnerabilities to make a profit. The corporate message that children are being implanted with is that buying things will make you happy. Things will make you happy. And in fact, the research shows that that's not true. What makes people happy is challenges at work and good relationships. It's not what you own. But that's what children are being taught over and over and over again. And children are bombarded with corporate messages from the moment they wake up in the morning to the moment that they go to bed at night, and even in school. And they can't escape them. They're everywhere. The use of psychologists in helping corporations market to children is very troubling. Psychologists are supposed to do good. They're supposed to help people, and marketing to children doesn't help them. It's not helpful to them, and that's trouble, and it's something that professional organizations are actually starting to take up. And psychologists are useful to marketers in all sorts of ways. For one thing, they have a good handle on child development, which corporations can exploit. So psychologists know a lot about teenagers and know about teenagers being rebellious, and for instance, and can help corporations plan strategies that will exploit that rebelliousness, exploit developmental vulnerabilities. So that's one thing. That's one way. They can also help corporations understand what children like and don't like. And they can also conduct market research and focus groups and help corporations understand the results of the focus group. But it's a real twist on what all those skills are are supposedly for. If parents limit television, well, what about the internet? Well, what about music? Well, what about videos? What about movies? I mean, you would be fighting with your child from morning till night all the time